Hello, this is Pastor French bidding you welcome to another segment of Daily Bread. Years ago, the Lord gave me some understanding concerning the body of Jesus and how it should be and what it should look like. Something Paul wrote started me thinking about how the religious world has changed the way the assembly, or if you want, church, should be built. The passage I'm referring to is found in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 10 through 17. I'm reading from the Good News Bible. Using the gift that God gave me, I did the work of an expert builder and laid the foundation, and someone else is building on it. But each of you must be careful how you build. For God has already placed Jesus Christ as the one and only foundation, and no other foundation can be laid. Some will use gold or silver or precious stones in building on the foundation. Others will use wood or grass or straw. And the quality of each person's work will be seen when the day of Christ exposes it. For on that day, fire will reveal everyone's work. The fire will test it and show its real quality. If what was built on the foundation survives the fire, the builder will receive a reward. But if your work is burnt up, then you will lose it. But you yourself will be saved as if you had escaped through the fire. Surely you know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit lives in you. God will destroy anyone who destroys God's temple, for God's temple is holy, and you yourselves are His temple. He establishes that Jesus the Christ is the only foundation that is laid, and we must be careful how we build on that foundation. He states that many will use different materials to build, and in the end, they will all be tried by fire. He ends the discourse by stating what and who the temple is. It is those who have the presence of Jehovah dwelling with them. It is not a man-made structure of any kind, but the people who are born again by the word of the Lord. When did a building become the church, replacing the born-again believers? The early church did not have designated buildings to meet in that were called churches. They met in homes, caves, open air, anywhere they could gather together to worship. Buildings where they met were not called churches because they themselves were the church. The Greek word we translate church is ekklesia, and according to Vine's word studies, has this meaning. Ekklesia from ek, or out of, and kleis, a calling. Kaleo, to call, was used among the Greeks of a body of citizens gathered to discuss the affairs of state. In the Septuagint, it is used to designate the gathering of Israel, summoned for any definite purpose, or a gathering regarded as representative of the whole nation. In Acts 7:38, it is used of Israel. In Acts 19:32 and Acts 19:41, of a riotous mob. It has two applications to companies of Christians: to the whole company of the redeemed throughout the present era, the company of which Christ said, "I will build my church," in Matthew 16:18, and which is further described as the church which is his body, Ephesians 1:22, Ephesians 5:23. In the singular number, in Matthew 18:17, congregation, to a company consisting of professed believers. The word synagogue translates from Greek with the same meaning, from Strong's Concordance, synagogue, together, and to drive, properly, an assembly. Nowhere in the definition of these words are buildings indicated, but in the modern religious world, only the buildings are called churches, not the people. I've been asked, Pastor, why do you put so much importance on the distinction? Does it really make any difference? And my answer is yes, very much. The buildings become the image of the denomination they belong to, and the focus is on them and not the people who attend. The buildings become almost like idols to which the people pay homage. They are called the house of God and therefore to be reverenced. But Paul said that we were the temple or house, if you will, that the Lord dwells in, not buildings. Don't misunderstand me. It's okay to have a place to meet, but wherever that may be, it's the people that are the church and not the building. We are the building on the foundation of Jesus that Jehovah is interested in. We need to establish ourselves in His Word so that we may be able to add to the building by our witness of Him who called us, so that we may add to the church daily those who would be saved. Thanks for watching. And remember, until next time, give love, give life, give Jesus.